shores of the majestic Black Sea here in Sochi, Russia. One of the best parts about building an Olympic winter resort is that sometimes you can also get a F1 track out of it, even though it's extremely boring. I'm Kitten Petter. I'm joined by my Australian partner in crime, Bod Hod. How are you?
Not too bad at all. Yes, if you see lots of creative round buildings in the background, that will be the Winter Olympic venues. Somewhat scenic, but also it's a bit of a paddock, isn't it, Russia?
Yeah.
Although in saying that it is a bit of an average race, it's not actually the worst track for wheel-to-wheel racing on the game. So, I mean, in my experience, Russia's always been somewhat reasonable actually in terms of league racing, but in real life it's generally the total opposite.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot like Abu Dhabi, where, I mean, these are probably the two worst races in real life to watch, but usually puts up, I would say, probably like the top half of league racing. Usually pretty exciting. But we got Risa in here now. I believe he's Danish. He's in EU1. He started in EU4. He made quite a leap over the course of the past few months, where he is pretty much gone all the way to the top. He's going to be filling in for Ant this evening, I believe. Actually, he's doing it for Abood. Matty Robbo is in once again up there for Ant. But yeah, pretty a lot of them. As a matter of fact, Jay Prentice in a McLaren for Speedsta, I believe. Dresa, surprise winner in Montreal. He is in the Haas for Forza Fredo this week. Hopefully they have better luck than some of our guys had in the EU1 race this afternoon. I'm not going to mention where they finished, but it wasn't very impressive, to put it lightly.
I get a second chance at it, so
yeah.
What I can do.
The second chance will be the first. Well, actually, Reese is going to be the first one to go, so might as well follow along with him. Is I'm going to enable the track map.
Get a bit of statistic up for the nerds watching the stream, including myself. Purple at the first sector. As always invalidated though.
Invalidated, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Incredibly easy to do.
It is.
There's going to be a lot of penalties.
Yeah, Swearn's going to be second to cross the line. Watched enough of the EU1 race to see him crash this afternoon. So that was fun. Safety cars on the docket around Sochi. It is technically a streets course, even though I don't think they're public streets anymore. But Wall's pretty close in a lot of places. A lot of AstroTurf on the outside of curbs, where if you accelerate on that, you are going to go straight into the inside wall and likely bring out a safety car. It's also the longest rundown, I believe, outside of maybe Barcelona. I think it's longer than that, into turn one. So lots of shenanigans on the starts as it kind of funnels everyone down in there.
Well, turn one's the key, isn't it? So I think Barcelona takes it in that regard, but in terms of real corners, I think it's pretty much the longest, yeah.
Well, I'm just speaking of throttle blast wise, full throttle. Matty Rabo is in the comments. He's confirming what I was kind of suspecting whenever we saw these guys take a couple minutes to get out on track. It is going to be a very wet start to this race. Looking forward to that. Fun. Yeah, that'll make a pretty exciting turn one. Yeah, the curbs. Absolutely incredible. It's going to be wet to dry, so I think it says 20 minutes. Never know. Take or give about 10. But the end of the race should be extremely exciting. I would say Swarner sets a fast lap. Prentice also did come in here, and he did a 132. Fenrique now goes a little bit faster. A 131.48. Goodness gracious, that's pretty quick.
Good banker.
Dresa with a 30.6. He said not to expect him to win this week. Sochi's not one of his best tracks, but he was extremely impressive in Montreal. I think he had done a few races before that. He finished in the points a couple times, nothing near what he was able to do there. Is I think Arbar, who is setting some really competitive times in time trial, he is up into P2 as well.
Yeah, just involves DK invalidated his lap. So a couple of guys have
Yeah.
already. A couple of guys still in laps. I think Nicholas and Fatal are both kind of starting laps about halfway through for Nicholas, I think. Still be one to watch. Particularly Nicholas, probably a shout for pole or a top 3 at least, considering his form in this tier. Championship leader still, isn't he? So
Yeah, he's run away with it. I mean, we've been saying it's a long season, but the season's starting to wind down a little bit. This is round 16. Technically, it's only 15, as we are going to rerun the Vietnam race that was glitched here on the day before Thanksgiving. So, a good way for me to socially distance and have an excuse.
Next week, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a family anyways, so it's cool. But Nicholas going to go with the 29.7. Good lord. That is rapid. Let's see, Alp. Speaking of rapid, he's got Risa right in front of him. Not sure if that dirty air is going to make him wash out a little bit coming around the final chicane.
Maybe
Into the penultimate corner.
Gear, which you'd expect most people to shift down a third or second. So
yeah, that is pretty nuts,
anyway.
to be fair. With the 29.6, he is, I believe, in the top 5. He pretty much is at every track in time trial in the world. So, not to brag. Fatal on a hot lap.
We're bragging on his behalf.
Oh, Reese is actually going to be ahead of, yeah. Actually, whenever I was looking at the time trial times, I believe we had 4 people from the COS community in the top 10. A couple of the NSX guys from EU1 and Valentino Rossi's son, VR Bolin, also in the top 10. His eldest son, Bolin, everyone knows. Risa, not invalidated this time yet. No jinx. I'm sorry, Risa, if you speak English and you're watching this. I apologize.
You got the Ferrari powered engine, but not quite the right one. So Risa can hang on to this lap. I think he's got the only one on the whole lap at the moment.
I've already let Lopez... Oh, purple in Sector 2. I already let Lopez know before the race that I'm not even going to mention his name out of fear of jinxing him.
Yeah,
so,
we had a good run last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we had... we were close to a career high. I think we had like 5 or 6. Oh no, Reese on the final corner. Oh god.
That'd be a decent next lap as well.
Yep, fatal invalidated as well. He's gonna have to jump in. You don't see a whole lot of invalidations there at the end of the lap. It's usually in the middle sector where it's just a bunch of quick right hand late apexes. But yeah, that is unfortunate. Fatal also did it. DK is now the only one out on a fast lap. Let's hope that he doesn't get one. Fingers crossed for poor DK. Just looking for a point. All DK wants.
No, we'll see what he can pull out. He's put in some decent qualifying, but things haven't quite worked out in the races. He just needs a clean race, I think, from start to finish. Because he's been in the fight with plenty of guys.
Yeah, he's been competitive. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not like fair for him. Just only having about 1 point this year. I mean, it's not reflective on his pace. I wouldn't say. I feel like he has mixed it up regularly. Just every once in a while, just makes a little mistake, ends up spinning. It's difficult game to master.
Yeah, it is quite different. You do see between games, like people kind of get quicker or don't get quicker depending on how they drive and how like the car drive kind of suits their, I don't know, I guess inputs and style of driving. DK was very quick on the last game, but still figuring this one out. But that will come with more laps done, and he's by no means a slouch of a driver anyway. So it's just about kind of hooking that race up and getting a couple of solid points. I think that will boost his confidence an awful lot. Speaking of top 8, or top 10,
right there, not bad. Clay has invalidated.
Well,
Bean
that doesn't
sandwich
matter.
on the tracker right now. Bean sandwich. Let's see if he can get a clean lap in. Bean sandwich, everyone. I think Bean was just begging me to jinx him in the comments. But I
Well, he got
didn't.
a lap in.
Alas,
P6.
we broke it. KD did race today in EU1 as well. Up to his old tricks, he had 9 seconds worth of penalties in the first 9
That's
laps.
actually pretty impressive.
No,
Oh,
it was in
first
the
time
first
lap.
night. Yeah,
Okay,
he was
never
going.
mind.
He was going for 27. He sees a nice
Right.
dividend of 30 or of threes, and he's going to go for it. Joel Granger, who did a good job on the EU1 commentary tonight, filling in for Ditchy, says someone's PlayStation is taking off. Yes, that would be mine. My PlayStation was just about to take off. The people at Sony obviously trying to destroy this PlayStation, so I have to buy a PS5 sooner rather than later, which I don't want to do.
At least you're not vaping through your Xbox.
Yeah, better than an Xbox, that's for sure.
It's genuinely smoking up.
Yeah. I saw that video. The one dude where that thing was like on fire. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, still got this lap, so let's hope we can finish it. Still on the PS4, to clarify. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't look like his is on fire, but he'll come through the final couple of corners. P9, 3/10 of his teammate.
Yeah, respectable for your
still
second round.
6 guys not to set laps, so probably needs to find a bit more time staying
Yep.
at 10.
Ooh, and that's Maddie has invalidated. Clay is into sector 3. He's got a nice little stargazing helmet.
Yeah, it looks nice from the offboard there. Just see the top of it on the onboard as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've noticed that before. It's Nicholas.
Oh,
I
look
guess
at that time
26.
Top 6,000s.
Yeah. Alp with a very nice time there. 129.669.
Nicholas just said it.
Yeah, Nicholas with a 663. I was making a 69 nice joke.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Thanks, dude. I'll be here all night.
Nah, I'm supportive of you. It's alright.
I think it's really important to have support. Fatal coming around, has not invalidated. Alp, God, I'm missing these guys. Alp with 29.4. I'm more excited about what's going on down here than what's going up there. I think everybody should get another run. Ooh, his Fatal power slides across the line in P12.
I think Matty Roberts behind us starting another lap as well. I'm not sure if anyone's towards the end of their lap.
Yeah, it looks like...
No. I think next one will be... Nicholas will be on a cooldown, so it might even be the Williams will be the next one. Actually, I think Clayfunk's cooling down as well, so...
Yeah, I think it's Lopez. As Juvenis has invalidated. Getting kind of close now. If you're invalidating, you got to jump right back in the pits and come out, because you're not going to have a whole lot of time. Very long circuit. Also pretty twisty in bits, so you might lose about 10 to 15 seconds on an outlap, just trying to make way for everybody.
Well, pit lane as well. Long entry, long exit on both ends. Plus a slow pit speed. Actually, I think it's the slower end of the pit lane speed around Russia, so have to take that into account when you're trying to time your quality run to perfection.
Yep. Risa with a 29.3. Goodness gracious, is Lopez up to a 30.12. I thought Risa was on a cooldown lap. That was the opposite of a cooldown lap. That is an absolutely monumental time. 29.3. Good lord, where did he come from? This man has been shot out of a rocket.
Perry's coming around. No, he's in the pits. Fatal's also coming in the pits. So definitely an in-between time now, as Fatal's cooked the pit entry.
Yeah, I think this is a glitch. It says Lopez is... I don't think this is a hot lap. Or maybe it is. Maybe he had an extra... Yeah, well, it's definitely not now.
Anyway.
Yeah, but it says 0 laps on the tires on my screen. Oh, that's weird. So yeah,
nice.
Guess we'll just have to sit here and wait for the guys to come back out. DK will be the first one.
The only one on the lap, I think. at the moment. Um, and actually Fenrique just behind as well.
Okay. Well,
Lots of guys still
yeah, I
in the
think
pit lane.
DK's down there as well. Bursey with a nice slipstream off his teammate. Sportsmanship, pass it on. Bean would like me to jinx Nick and Alp today. Trust me, Bean, I've tried. Doesn't work.
We've still got a long way to go, so plenty more opportunities.
Yeah, Bursey hasn't validated. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Bursey. I think he had a little more pace than that. Probably top 10 pace. His pace has come around. I know last weekend Zandvoort didn't have anything to show for it because of, I believe it was a steering wheel stopped working, which is why he why he kind of went straight on in turn 1 at Zandvoort, and then got a 10-second time penalty to boot.
For obvious, yeah, track extending and gaining an advantage. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, after he just lost about after he just lost 45 seconds. Yeah, Fenrique is coming around sector 3 right now. Not sure what kind of time he's going to be capable of. Qualifying pace wise, he hasn't been as good as he was last year, I don't think, but good enough regardless. Let's see if he can stick it in the top 5.
Hands together for the wet.
Oh yeah,
doesn't prove. Yeah, not a position.
Yep. Holds. DK's invalidated. I think Bursey's going to go for another hot lap if he has enough fuel.
Yeah, he should. Swan has just started the lap as well. But almost everyone else on out laps now. So hopefully they separate themselves slightly, because there is a bit of a queue. Well, there's 2 queues actually on the track.
Love to see it. Probably the most realistic thing about this game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I reckon.
Oh.
Other than questionable penalties, maybe.
Yeah, that too. I think I had 3 seconds after my first 2 laps. Yesterday, Swanner invalidates, and he will be, unfortunately, out of this session.
Yeah, I'll just find who's ahead of the train. I think Bursey's still ahead of the train. There's a lot of guys behind him. Some on hot laps, some not, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ride along with Alp, who's in the first sector at the moment. Finishing up, not purple, I don't think. So, whatever.
Yeah, might be fastest sector, but not on this lap.
Yeah. It might take something a little more impressive to defeat Risa. He's extremely fast. And you got to know that Alp is not looking forward. Oop, purple sector 2. He's not looking forward to this long run down into turn 1 on the start. Hates the starts. Usually gets swarmed in very short with little room into turn 1, but this was a lot more, and I jinxed Alp. You're welcome, Bean. As he is hopped it. Ooh, some good car control though. As he gets over the line, he's going to be starting P2. Yep, Nicholas
coming around. Trying a couple of corners now. Can hit the apex. Very nice. Don't go wide. Same deal here.
Oh, that is a great lap from Nicholas. Just pips Risa for pole. The championship leader once again, showing his chops. There is some winglets that look like it belong to a Mercedes. I think it's just because they're all queued up here at the end. No more running. Nicholas is on pole, and for some reason my L2 doesn't work, so I can't bump up and down here amongst the drivers. I think this controller is about had it. Might have to retire it and buy a new one.
Yeah. They do come and go, but luckily mine works just fine, so I don't have that problem.
Yeah. So
well, there's that gap between the top 3 and P4 though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the gap back down to P5. So some pretty big gaps actually. I mean, part of that may be down to a setup choice. I mean, times aren't that bad, but I mean, judging by a few of them, they've probably gone for some kind of hybrid, if not majority wet.
Yeah, you could tell that they were working on something, because typically you see some guys out on track ASAP, and this one I even started a little late because I saw him just kind of sitting in the garages. twiddling with their thumbs, but obviously they were twiddling with their thumbs for good reason, because this race start is gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I think particularly with people trying to sort themselves out, if the setups are different. I mean, starting with heavy rain, but then with it being dry at the 45-minute mark, like that's going to be probably about 2/3 of the way through the race. So I think we're going to have somewhat substantial dry running as well at the end, but not for a while. So we might see some guys really kind of phase in and out in terms of pace.
Yeah, I think you would expect guys like Lopez and Fenrique, probably the two best wet weather drivers in the tier, to excel in conditions such as this. This looks like full wets. I don't know about what you think, Bob.
Oh, it will be, yeah.
Yeah, this looks like
I think
full
the
wets.
fact that it's this dark and this heavy, it should be full wets, which means that they'll probably have to do an inter-stint as well, because very rarely you can go from wet to dry tyres. The inters are a lot better when it is drying up. The wets kind of just feel like dries on a wet track a lot of the time. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes the right calls, particularly with the walls being closed as well, being a street circuit. Might get a couple of safety cars as people try and find their feet a bit, because I doubt most of these guys would have done much wet practice.
Yeah, it doesn't really rain here that often, even though it is essentially on the coast of one of the largest seas in the world. So yeah, we'll run through the old driver order here. Nicholas on pole, he's the championship leader. Risa is in from E1, making his AM1 debut, and looking pretty good. That's a full-on jinx as he loses it going around the left-hander. Alpine P3.
Yeah, he also went deep into turn 2, like over turn 1 braking zone.
I guess he's just testing the conditions. He's just testing the conditions. Fenrique in P4, Bean in P5, Lopez P6, Arbar in the Mercedes in P7, looking to maybe get up into that top 3 in points. Dresa in 8th. Jay Prentice also filling in P9. Swarner P10, Perry P11, KD 12, DK 13, Juventus 14, Wingit 15, Bersy 16, Fatal 17, Clay Funk, and Matty Robbo will round out the field.
Who's the missing car? I'm trying to figure it out now.
Someone has a missing car?
No, I'm just thinking like which car or which team only has one driver.
Oh, is it Williams?
It would be Al. No, it's Williams. Yeah.
I think JSAC couldn't make it this week.
Yeah. That's right. 19's a good turnout though. It's always good having more people.
Joel's,
more fun, more action.
Joel's got Alp, Risa, Nicholas. If you guys have any other predictions, get that in. As well as your driver of the day. Don't say Max Verstappen. You can vote on that throughout the course of the race as we are heading around Sector 3. A very long formation lap. Only made longer by the torrential downpour that is going on in Sochi at the moment. In virtual Sochi. I want to give a huge shout out to virtual Vladimir Putin, or his virtual body double. He is sitting front row and center for this. My president for only another 2 months, unfortunately. I think we're in for some real fireworks here. Risa, I know he probably doesn't want to create too much havoc, but he is pretty much primed and ready for being a big part of that, even though it won't be his choosing. P2.
The second and third rows I think favourable to start on in dry because it's the stream, but in the wet, it's a totally different story, and it often does cause a couple of incidents perhaps with the heat flat out, but in the wet it'll be even worse. Lights out, take it away.
Yeah, no glitch. These guys went off when the lights went out. Maybe that was a patch from Cody's recently. Nicholas gets a good launch. Lisa runs a little wide. We've already have some guys running wide back here. Saw McLaren. You can't even see anything going that far back.
Four people nearly bent it.
Not sure who.
There was a bit of contact down the field. Someone's around. Perry's around. Perry's going around, unfortunately.
Carlos Sainz does not approve. But
Elf's
yeah,
dropping as well. He's down at P8. So as you mentioned before start,
side by side there
lots of swapping
with our
around.
bar. Yeah, this mid pack, these guys back here cannot see a thing. The spray is absolutely.
Oh, my apprentice has just sent about 4 people, but he's somehow managed to make it somewhat stick. Winging it kind of doesn't have anywhere to go. He did lose a lot of positions off the start.
Oh, Prentice does
kind of
push.
Now, Fatal
Yeah,
is very wide behind as well.
yeah. Prentice pushed. I think both the Renaults a little wide. I thought they were going to get him, but now they're kind of. Now they're stuck next to each other. This is not where you want to be if you are virtual serial habitable right now.
Yeah.
Look at Maddie there. Here's Maddie. He's going to be trying to move into the final, the last sector, I should say. Doesn't though. I'm trying to look around the field here. Biggest.
Already.
Yeah, Nicholas has been really performing well on the wet this year. He's
Hungary, where he was killing it wet and kind of got caught in the dry. I guess it's similar weather situation in this race, but looking like he's got some really strong wet pace. Speaking of strong wet pace, he called it at the start as well. Enrique and Lopez P3 and 4, and Lopez actually possibly trying to line up and move. As my airport's all stuffing up, so I'm going to ignore that, but not quite getting close enough. And at this stage, it looks like they might have a tad bit more pace than Risse, although not quite coming under direct pressure yet. And Bean hasn't dropped too far either, which is good for him.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that Lopez has been looking for a podium all year, and he has not gotten one yet. This might be the opportunity for him, as these guys are just all moving all over the place.
Elf's really struggling. He's been overtaken by Spawner as well, and now he's got KD right on his tail.
Ooh, huge oversteer from Alp, who I believe is he actually in P9? Oh, who is that? That's KD.
KD went down the inside and kind of ran him off the track, so maybe not quite appreciated by Elp. But yeah, Elp really struggling. That is genuinely P10 for him after starting P3. So I lost the 7 places already.
Yeah, that's rough. Alp's gonna be getting onto those dry tires as soon as possible. Not sure if it's setup related or if it's just circumstance getting caught out with a not great start. Either way, biggest winner is Bursey in P12. Well done to Bursey, who always helps me get logged into this Twitch. Looking for some points.
Ooh, sorry, Enrique is literally pushing Risse through the final sector.
Enrique's been watching NASCAR recently. Nice to see.
Bump drafting.
Yeah, a little bit of bump drafting.
What should I say drafting? Yeah.
So here in the top American tier, we have a Canadian, a Dane, a Brazilian, a Dominican, and a Mexican in the top 5 right now. so riddle me that.
Yeah, there's plenty of culture in this tier, which is great. It's called American tier, but we all know it's much more than that. As Enrique's got a massive run here.
Man, yeah,
he somehow saved that. Wow,
that is an incredible save from Risa, but Fenrique had to back out. Otherwise, that would have ended in tears for both of them. I think Fenrique is going to be able to get him here, unless Risa holds on. He's kind of, I think he kind of pushed him out wide a little bit. Now Lopez. Oh, whoa, hey, Fenrique, I'm
not going to say they've been really aggressive up and down the field, but that's probably crossing the line, moving the braking zone there.
Yeah, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say that Fenrique probably didn't know he was there, but he might have. Maybe he's been watching Michael Schumacher highlights as well. Never know.
Possibly.
Bean is right onto the back of this gaggle of cars here. Caught up to Lopez, was about a second. Now he's down to the gearbox of these guys. I'm not sure if Fenrique is going to be able to gap Risa. Risa is looking pretty strong right now. A lot stronger than he did in the first couple laps, as a matter of fact. But yeah, and would you guess, on the back of this Truly train is now Dressenbossen and Arbar. And Swarner as well. Oh boy.
Side of the second last corner, not really an overtaking spot. That's that
Yeah,
could have been
I think Lopez wants to stay connected to Fenrique. He knows that might be the race for him. If he wants to have a chance at a podium, he's got to get past Risa now. Because look at this train foreman, and it's not quite close enough, I don't think, to make a move into turn one. Might be running a lot of downforce, just can't get around him.
Yeah, quick message to Matty Robbo. No texting and driving, and also to everyone else out there. Talking about lack of visibility, which is always a problem in the wet weather. But yeah, currently in P17, following close to Wingett and Perry, who you saw go up. DK. Actually,
I'm sorry. I just have to. Oh no! Bot has left the party. He might have disconnected from the internet. What I was laughing at is as soon as Madship44 asked if anyone got penalties, DK and Swarner immediately got penalties. So well done, Madship. It's nice to see that the jinxing extends to everyone. As Juventus is the first to lose it. Yep. Had an idea that something like this would happen. Unfortunately, it has struck Juventus. Probably just a little too much curb on the outside. As Fatal gets a drive-through penalty. Oh man, this is what Bod and I got last night, as well as a few other drivers for speeding under the safety car. So I think that's a glitch. It's got to be a glitch. But unfortunately, not sure what he can do about it until it gets patched. Just unfortunately happened to Fatal. Bod, are you with us? Are you alive?
yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. About 30 seconds before I dropped, it said that you'd left the party. So I was just checking Twitch and stuff to make sure the stream's still up.
Oh. Huh. I thought he might have got struck by lightning or something. Yeah.
No, it's partly hot. The lightning.
Some heat
Although
lightning.
with Melbourne, typically you never really know what the weather's going to throw up. But I just saw, as I was lagging out a safety car, so that spices things up, doesn't it?
It does. And now Bursey gets a drive-through penalty. Man.
Honestly, who would even think of getting drive-throughs on a safety car around here?
I don't know. Quite frankly, I'm offended.
Just like, why? Why?
Why?
Let's see if anyone puts on dry tires.
Yeah, I have been on position change. I should check tires. Not sure if anybody is going to want to sacrifice track position, though. I mean, it's definitely still full of wets, and if you get put at the back of this field, Matty Rabo was commenting on the formation lap that he wanted a red flag because he couldn't see anything. And yeah, the view really after Nicholas gets extremely bad. You could see whenever Arbar and Swarner caught up to the Fenrique and Risa pack, it was just absolutely visibility about zero. So yeah, track position I think right now is still going to be the key of the day. And if you do get a drive-through penalty, do not serve it under the safety car because it will just give you wet tires or soft tires.
No, yeah, you have to do it on a racing lap, and also don't do it on a lap the safety car comes in because that is also allowed.
Yeah.
Same on the thing. First-hand experience here. The pair of us. But Inters guys, that's gonna be interesting to watch. It's probably too early, but I mean, if it's within 2 or 3 laps, it might be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that they. Yeah, I mean, they all had the same idea. I think if you're all the way back there already, you might as well take a chance because I mean, getting points if you just stick on the same strategy is not looking good for you if you're in 16th through 18th. So maybe this track starts to dry out. I mean, a little bit of a dry line is kind of forming there, but I still don't. It's at least 3 or 4 laps away. I would assume. Just by looking at the track. It has lightened up quite a bit. So it is coming, just don't think it's now. But the best of luck to these brave men. Matty Rabo, Clay Funky Fatal. May your journeys be successful. Joel Granger says this SC glitch is ridiculous. It is, yes, I agree. It is, yeah. Hopefully they can patch that up here the next week or so. And I might as well mention now, I'm not sure about the EU side of things, but we both have Both AM1 and AM2 have makeup races next week, Thanksgiving week. Perfect opportunity to get away from your family and play a video game for a couple of hours. Bod and I will be racing an AM2 on Tuesday, making up the Hungary race. And AM1 will be racing on Wednesday, making up the Vietnam race. So that'll be fun. I know these guys are definitely looking forward to go back to Vietnam. Great track.
I think Nicholas said he enjoyed it, so...
what is Nicholas now? What does he know?
I've come to enjoy it more than I did initially. First I thought it was an absolute crap hole, but now it's not so bad when you know where you're going.
I just feel like a lot of it's... It just seems cobbled together to me. Like, I like the last sector, which I think is like the only purpose-built part of the track, where it's super rhythmic, but all just the normal... Everything else just looks like... It's like a track you design on like Gran Turismo or something. It's like everything's just thrown together. Safety car in this lap, coming from race control. Thank you, virtual ghost of Charlie Whiting, for the confirmation. Kind of expected that. We will be racing on lap 7. See if Nicholas can pull out a gap again, or if his teammate Fenrique, the amphibious one from Brazil, can give him a challenge. No team orders in this Red Bull lineup. They do not speak the same language.
No. And they've told us many times that they'll race each other competitively, but still be somewhat respectful of each other. Nicholas go really slow because the safety car is slow into the pit lane.
Yeah.
With it all being so slow corners, so that can often create a bit of trouble. You can see Risse right in the back of Enrique. Obviously doesn't want to. Let him go.
Look at these guys. These guys are double filed up. This looks like an IndyCar restart. Yeah.
Oh, Risse's in the pits.
Huh.
Okay. That's unexpected. The other guy's
interesting. Not sure. Okay. Dress is gonna.
Oh, and Sin as well.
Yeah, I think Dressa and Risa are the countrymen. I think they know each other. They're probably in the same party, and I think these guys are switching on to Inners right now to get out of what they, I guess, would assume, well, probably correctly assume, is going to be a pretty congested restart, as Fenrique is closing on Nicholas. Cannot get the gap that he got on the first lap now with Fenrique behind him. Fenrique's going to pop out. I think he was mainly just looking for his braking point, though. But that is good news for Lopez, who now does not have to fight Risa 4P3. And look at these three. They have already gapped.
Oh, there's a big crash. There's a massive crash down here. Oh wow, so Prentice is in the wall, and I think he collected a Renault and possibly the Haas as well. Yeah, Perry's off as well with no front wing. I just caught the end of that. They're going side by side after the big left-hander. The two right-handers after that, they just all converged on each other in the braking zone, and there is massive damage to a couple of cars there.
Honestly, with the way those guys were going at it at the start back there, I'm not surprised that they're going to do it again on the restart. Don't think that... I'm not sure if that's really the most viable way to race in these conditions. You're probably not going to get away with it more than once. We have VSC.
Yeah, the Renaults have just gotten away without damage. I think Robbo missed it. Paypop missed it. I think Fatal may have gotten involved, but it doesn't look like he's got damage. But Prentice and Perry have no wing at all. I think they were just kind of weaving around each other, and they've just kind of gone wheel to wheel. Kind of that contact.
Oh, is that Nicholas? That's Nicholas and Lopez in. Fenrique staying out.
Yeah.
Under VSC, I think these guys think this is the opportunity with Reese and Dresa coming in. I think we have a drive-through penalty for Katie for speeding under the VSC, but they are off once again. See what the tires are. If they are inters, they are indeed.
They're hitting.
Yeah, but it looks like all of the top runners here are on inters, and wow, what a decision that actually turns out being for Matty, Robbo, Clay, fucking Fatal. I didn't think it was going to work this well, but Matty, Clay, and Fatal are going to inherit the top 3 positions of this race, I think, whenever it all shakes out.
Yeah, 100%. Big ball call. Didn't quite think it was ready, but I mean, now looking on board people, it does look like inters will work fine, like just with the amount of rain coming down and the track's gotten a little bit lighter perhaps, and the racing line's definitely visible as well. They're kind of your indicators for intermediate conditions. They kind of tick all the boxes.
I believe we've got a comment from RaidCon. Buddy, go back to Patreon. Wait, no, not Patreon. Parlor. Go back to Parlor. Matty Rabo now right behind DK, who's starting to struggle on these wets. This Clay Funk, unfortunately, picks up another 3-second time penalty. Oh, Perry's going to pick one up as well. DK and Alp... Or, I mean, sorry, Matty Rabo. But Matty Rabo now has to catch Alp. Which I think he probably will be doing shortly if they don't pit first. Let's see the leaders. Looks like Fenrique is coming in. Katie is coming in. Alp is coming in, and your new leader-elect is going to be Matty Rabo, leading his first race after starting, I believe, dead last. Or was that Juventus?
I think Matty Rabo was positioned 2 from the bottom.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
He's up 18 spots.
Colin's now right at the top, so...
Yeah, that is some fantastic strategizing for these guys as Risa puts in the fastest lap on the inners. He actually is going to jump all the other leaders by doing that, by going 1 lap earlier. He is now, I'm not going to say net lead, but as there is like a 10-second gap here to Clay Funk. But yeah, fantastic. I'm not sure what happened to Fatal. What just happened to Fatal? Did he pit again?
I'm not 100% sure. I was just having in the chat. How old are his tyres? They're still pretty lap old tyres, so I wonder if he's just gone around or something. I missed that as well. Just trying to follow where everyone is and stuff.
Yeah, he was just there and now he's gone. This is like the this is like a probably season 3. Yeah, season 3 of Unsolved Mysteries. Probably going to be Fatal. Where did he go off the back of this train? Not sure. That's unfortunate for him. Obviously, he has not been in that position at all this year so far, so hope he can make it back. But that was a great strategy call from these two, and 3. Unfortunately, not paying off now, but this race is picking up right where it left off. Lopez only about a second off the back of Reese, so Fenrique less than a second off the back of him, and Nicholas right behind. So Nicholas actually ends up losing after all this. I think probably ran into some problems in the pit lane with cars leaving or entering behind him. That's really unfortunate for Nicholas, who quite frankly had...
It up now, isn't it?
Yeah, Nicholas really had an incredible start to this race. I think he was about 4 seconds clear before that safety car, just in the first handful of laps. Joel says Fatal got involved with JP and Perry. I think. I don't think he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't back there. Yeah, he was in third behind Clay Funk. They were all packed up like right next to each other. I'm not sure what happened. Matty Rabo now in control of this race on inters. I believe this will probably be a pretty entertaining 17 laps if I do say so myself.
Particularly now the weather change forecasted going from wet to dry, so it's going to be spicy, 100%. With such a jumped up grid, as mentioned, like you've got quick guys you expect well in the points, like Perry and Swarner, down in the bottom 5-6 positions at the moment, and then you kind of unexpected guys like Claypoint's put himself in a fantastic position on the strat, so if he can hold on to some decent points that would be amazing as well. But you can see the guys behind him, a lot of quick guys want to make up for that. It's similar to spicy if they try and re-sort themselves out.
Yeah, that would be great for Clay Funk. Just get some confidence, find his sea legs a little bit. He's had a rough handful of his first races here. Getting some points would be absolutely huge for him. These guys are all the way bunched up again. This is just in reverse formation of what happened at the start. It is now Risa, Lopez, Fenrique, and Nicholas. Nicholas is probably going to be taking a pretty conservative approach to this. They do have a little bit of time to play with. Bean is over a second. Even though Bean did just set the fastest lap, I would expect that to fall. Probably someone, maybe not.
Yeah, Bean's been kind of like this position Bean's in now is somewhat representative of where he's been the last few races, hasn't he? Kind of playing catch up,
Yeah.
not quite qualifying right up with those top guys. He was, definitely champion.
Yeah, he
still kind of is.
Yeah, Bean definitely.
He's always kind of been playing a little bit of catch up, not qualifying fantastically well, but I mean, this is a chance for Bean to get some points off some of these guys.
Yeah, I'd say the first 5 or 6 rounds, Bean really. I mean, I don't know if you could say he really struggled, but he wasn't. He wasn't a factor like he was in a lot of races last season. Usually like 6th and 7th instead of on the podium. But yeah, he's really come around here recently in the past probably 5-6 races where he's been a consistent contender, winning at Interlagos, and that was a crazy race. Not unlike this one.
Good, but his qualifying sometimes doesn't help him, but I guess he's kind of made up a bit of that now. As you've got side by side up here with Enrique Lopez now.
Let's see.
Enrique will go around the outside, Lopez will slot in.
Yeah, that's going to be big for Fenrique. Hopefully he can use Lopez as a stopgap to hamper his teammate for a little bit. As speaking of the devil, as he is 6.66 tenths of a second behind, but he is back up to about to the rear of this group as well. Dressa is going to be trying to come for it. He can see the end of it, but it's just out of reach. And for Arbar as well, just out of reach. And Bean sets his second consecutive fastest lap. Really strong performance right now. See if that can translate. Yeah, that's very impressive. Speaking of very impressive, Risa has caught up quite quickly to the back of Clay Funk for P2.
Yeah, and in turn, Matty Robbo too. Matty Robbo's been a bit quicker than Clay Funk. Gaps kind of stretched from 2 to 4 seconds. But I think these 5 are all catching the pair of them quite quickly. Katie does a quickest lap, but not bothering him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would expect the guys from the UK to be better in rain, since it rains all the time there.
Yeah, not Australian.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Too much.
Yeah,
So,
multi 21 sub, multi 21. I did enjoy seeing Australia's Lord and Savior Mark Webber on the podium in real life Sunday, interviewing Lewis Hamilton. It's nice. Real refreshing bloke, Mark Webber. Always liked his personality. Yeah, Risa's right up to the back of Clay Funk, and I mean, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I think for Clay Funk, the best way to probably get some points is to probably just kind of not make this difficult for this lead back, because they're coming and they're coming fast.
Yeah, it's going to be that minimising overall race time, I think, for Clay Funk. Like track position, but he's probably better off not kind of fighting these guys too hard and trying to tag on the back of them.
Yeah, I think that would honestly be best.
That would be the best way to control the position. Particularly with that penalty as well, it's already kind of a disadvantage. And he's not going to really fight Risa too much.
Yeah, there's not Risa. That's fair play to Clay. Ooh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. We have Risa now getting around. I think Fenrique is going to make a pretty bold move around the outside of the left-hander. That's actually really nice. Clay wasn't giving him that. Fenrique really had to somehow find traction on the outside there. So well done to him. I think Lopez is going to line up a move as well. And Nicholas is going to slide by too. Oh, and he's going to kind of push Clay. That was a little rude from Nicholas, but I guess he was. Yeah.
He's not giving him, but
yeah, he's not pulling over, which is good. But if he wants a chance at points here, I think he's just got to make this kind of easy. And he is just going to let Bean kind of have the inside. Dressa is next, but behind that, there's quite a big gap to Arbar. Arbar not finding his sea legs, if we're being honest, in these tricky conditions. Yeah, back up to this.
Gap's staying very level, if not growing a tiny bit to Arbar. And Alp's kind of following, but I've been keeping an eye on that gap, and Alp hasn't really been in a position to directly threaten Arbar either. So Alp's still not quite on the pace here, so I wonder if he's gone a lot drier on the setup than some of the other guys. You wouldn't expect him to be this far
we'll just
down.
we'll just have to wait and see. But we're halfway through the race now, and it doesn't look like the conditions are going to be changing too much. Maybe 6 or 7 laps at the end and dry, but it's still raining and there's still just a ton of standing water on the circuit. So I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned in to find out. As I think Drayson just got past Clay as well. Nicholas here, still on the back of this train. Not a whole lot going on. I think these guys are probably just trying to save it for the last stands of the race. Really, I don't.
They'll supposed to catch Matty Robbo.
Yeah.
They can start going hard in the last few laps.
Yeah, this is like.
Not too much time.
Yeah, this is kind of like in the Tour de France when you see the peloton trying to catch the breakaway. That's kind of what's going on right now with these guys. And Teresa has caught up to the back, just about a second and a half behind. But I'll say Matty Rabos has been doing pretty good. That hasn't dropped too radically. Is Matty Rabo leading EU3? I think is what he's doing now. So he's gotten some points in AM1 filling in for Alpha, but probably wasn't expecting this. Risa makes it an Alpha 1 too. So well done for the boys in Switzerland. Well,
yeah, not too bad at all. Looking good, getting some decent points as it stands, but I mean, still a long way to go in the race.
Is that where Sauber's based? Switzerland, isn't it? Pretty sure it's Switzerland. I don't remember. Sorry, I was thinking out loud to myself.
And it is.
Yeah, I think it's Switzerland. No taxes. Shout out to Don Amos. No taxes.
Love it.
Yep. Not really a whole lot going on here. These guys are pretty much content right now, trying to wait this one out. Nicholas does get really loose coming out of the first complex of corners. He did save it though, so well done to him. But Bean might start getting a little frisky here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's got pace, just Bean. So if he wants to kind of get up this train, he probably has to start thinking about picking them off.
Yeah,
like, he's not going to get 3 positions in a lap. But if you can get one every lap or two, then that will get him right up towards the race win.
Yeah, we really have.
Keep at it.
We have a really interesting kind of thing here where, I mean, the guys in the points right now, unless they make a mistake, they're going to be in the points for the rest of the race.
Yeah, well, Wing at 12 seconds back.
Yeah, Wing's 12 seconds off the back of the points. Well. Yeah. So, yeah. Usually don't see it end up like that, but that's interesting. So I know some of these guys are really good in the wet, but I guess pretty much everyone from Fatal on back has had some sort of issue thus far. Yeah. And Riso, the only one with penalties in this gruppetto here from P2 to P6. So these guys have done really well to keep it inside the track limits on a very wet circuit through the first 16 laps. You know that the middle sector is really easy, really easy to get multiple warnings.
Very inviting through there.
Yep.
Down the field, Perry gets by Fatal as well for P13, but as previously mentioned, they're a long way off the points. You've got a 10-second gap from Clay Funk to Wing It for P10, and then 4 seconds and another 10 seconds back to Perry. So lots of guys really spread out. Katie's had some pace, but he's nowhere near the point to be over a pit stop behind the points at the moment. He will get a run on Fatal though, should get the move done well before the braking zone. Although Fatal's not going to give it to him. Both of them in overtake mode, but Katie should have the line. And he's going to somewhat squeeze him on the brakes, but gets the move done.
Yeah, I'm glad you were talking through that, because the helicopter shot through the horseshoe into turn 1. I've seen a lot of a lot of stimulating things in my life, and that's up there. That was beautiful.
Gotta love it when they help us.
Yes, more helicopter shots. I wish they had I wish they had like an extra option for the helicopter shot. We'd literally just be watching every single race from the helicopter shot the entire time. It's great. I don't know how they do it. That's
we had a fair few on last week actually.
Yeah.
For it, which is great.
Yeah, yeah, really showed the elevation. Oh, that's yeah. Fenrique is right on the back.
About it. And they've caught Matty Robbo quickly as well.
I think Rabo at about 10 laps on those inners. Wonder if he's starting to feel a little bit. Risa does get extremely wobbly. It's not going to give him a whole lot of space here as we head into this kink. Let's see if Fenrique can make the move onto the right-hand side. He will. And Risa's kind of moved a little bit in the braking zone, I think. Just a tiny touch. Pulling over Verstappen onto Red Bull, but now Lopez and Nicholas are right back up into this as they're going to go side by side. Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh! Nicholas is through the side.
I didn't know who to. I didn't know who to pick, and now Bean's going to get Lopez. What has happened to Lopez? Just got off kilter there for one sector.
I'm not sure if there was a bit of contact between Nicholas and Lopez, because Lopez got incredibly loose just before the apex, which you wouldn't really expect to lose it there. So I think Nicholas may have pushed his way through a bit, and Lopez has now dropped from 3, 4, 6 now.
And now Fenrique is on the charge. I think Matty Rabo might be hearing the Jaws music in his head right now.
I mean, if you listen to this rearview mirror, it's not going to be a pretty sight.
Yeah, because Fenrique is coming. And he's and he almost got it. That move done. Even though that's a DRS zone in the dry, that is very difficult to do, especially in the wet. And I think he's gonna get Matty here. Pushes him a little wide. Oh, Matty actually does a great job holding him off. A little bit of contact. I don't know why I'm getting that camera angle where it's just showing the cars coming behind them. But they're gonna go side by side through this third sector. Not advised. If you want to finish this race in one piece, I think Matty Rabo's finally going to have to back out. Yeah,
Risa and Nicholas kind of gave each other a nose to tail. Nicholas is now going to drop to the back of the train. Bean gets the run, and Fenrique is up into the lead of the race because of all that. And Risa gets by Matty Robbo, and so does Bean. And where's Lopez in all this? He's not going to be able to send Nicholas is sending Lopez. This is wild. This
goodness.
Is wild.
Oh, we're going 2 abreast around this horseshoe, I think. 2 by 2.
Here now.
Oh, boy. Andres is going around the outside on Lopez. They're so close. One little touch there will end your race, literally. It will send you into the barriers there. Yeah, okay. Well, we were expecting that to happen eventually. I didn't think it was going to be that exciting.
No, that all happened at once, didn't it? Wow.
Yeah. Boy, Lopez is right on the back of Jasa. Lopez probably the biggest loser out of this entire scenario. Had so much more pace on that first stint before the second VSC on the full wets, and now he's dropped all the way back to P7 on track when it looked like he was going to be in for a podium. Not too far behind though, so anything is possible around here, especially in interchangeable conditions. I would expect dries to come on eventually, but
Lopez is setting Jose, cuts the corner, gets a penalty, probably well deserved in that instance. Can't get the move done, so he's not done yet. Matty's dropped to second to Nicholas though, so that gap is kind of forming now. So Matty Robert looks like he's lost a lot of pace in those inters. I'll see how much wear they've got actually, because that's probably going to tell a bit of the story. Mid 50% on the rears. They're about 10% more water than the fronts. So Matty Robbo is definitely not going to have optimal pace. The rest of the guys up in this battle are kind of low mid 40%, so a 10% difference in tyre wear on the rear tyres between Matty Robbo and the other guys who have got 2 or 3 laps newer. So that's obviously playing a role now. But
there's Jasa. Jasa gets him.
Although have a look on board with some of these guys. The track, I reckon, is just turning now.
Yeah. Even offline now is starting to look pretty dry.
Offline looks okay.
Yeah, I think Drace is doing the smart thing. I think there's a lot more pace. There's a lot more pace offline in that horseshoe, as Matty Rabo just found out as he got passed by 2 guys. There's a lot more grip for these intermediate tires. Not sure if anyone's tires are going to be looking like Hamilton's after the race on Sunday. That was pretty impressive. I did not. I did not think. Oh no! And who's that? That's Maddie.
Oh,
That's Reese.
That's Reese.
Oh, see, I couldn't tell which one it was from the angle. Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't quite on board. I saw something in the background. I don't know if he actually made contact with anyone. I don't think.
That is a place on a drying track with just the traction. It's going to be so heavy on your rear tires. It's going to be easy to spin those out.
But that's pot bean indicator now.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Risa. Man. Yeah. Done well on his AM1 debut. Number 43, obviously everyone knows that Danish people love Richard Petty. He's doing it out of memoriam. Dresa is going to be in the pits. Let's see if he is going to be the first one out of this lead group. We see Prentice and we see DK back there on softs as well. Now Risa, he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding. I believe that's 8 seconds now for him.
There's no spray. Well, there's barely any spray. I reckon Dresa may have just pulled a master stroke. Maybe Robbo's in as well. Prentice and DK already pit from the last 2 spots, but I reckon it's dry.
Oh, I think Risa did get held up a little bit in the pits, but you might be right. This might be a master stroke. Swarner back there throwing on the softs, trying to get some points. Clay Funk on softs, Wing It on softs, and literally everyone up here is going to be caught out. Once this track turns, it's going to be at least 15 seconds a lap faster on softs than it is on these old inners. So that might be a gigantic call from the Danes.
Jersey and Gary stay out, and everyone else is pit. I haven't seen a DRS enabled sign yet, but I reckon it's dry enough anyway. Like there's no real dry wet line. The track's still a tiny bit shiny, but judging by the way they put power down on the meters now, I think it's pretty much dry time. And Bean, look at Bean. There you go, DRS enabled, so it's definitely time.
Yep.
The Red Bull's going to get a bit shafted here because Nicholas is right behind Fenrique and he's going to get held.
Yeah, definitely not ideal for the championship leader. He is, I mean, even if he does, is he going to stay out? He's going to stay out. I still think you'd probably lose less time sitting behind Fenrique. I mean, this is going to be 15 to 20 seconds a lap to the guys on softs.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to fall behind, possibly even Risse. I think he'll probably get Clay Funk still. I think the pace is probably there in the gap. But that's going to be a big loss there.
Yeah.
And everyone else I think is in the pits.
Yeah, it looks like it. We're going to have to see where these guys all come out. I believe Arbar was going to be first. Nope, Fenrique is going to be first out of here. See, Fenrique... Oh, you know what? Actually, Risa did not gain as much as I thought. I mean, Jace, excuse me.
Didn't remember.
Yeah. Well, I meant Jace. And there's too many aces here. But yeah, Fenrique actually did not turn out as drastic as I thought it would be. Must be said. Probably only lost a couple seconds in the end. But Nicholas will be losing a lot of time here. As that gap has already gone down by about a second since Fenrique came out of the pits. Jason just set a fastest Sector 1. Alp is right on Arbar's gearbox, and he's probably going to be pretty thankful for DRS.
Yes.
Pretty soon.
I will spend a lot of time looking at that Mercedes rear end. It's a beautiful rear end, but I think I'm not sure to see the front. At this point in the race, currently P7, fighting for P6, so some points, but probably less than you would have hoped for qualifying P3.
Yeah.
Should get him now, DRS. Arbar's not really going to fight it. Nick gets 3 seconds, which is critical as well, so he's
he probably
now on the back foot.
Yeah, he probably just did not have any grip, but I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, he probably slid out on pit entry. Yeah. We'll see where he comes out. This should be quite a ways back, I reckon. It's Fenrique is now on the front straightaway. Nicholas is still there. It is. Yep, Fenrique and Bean have just passed. Nicholas is so far back. Yeah, this is going to be infuriating. Yeah, this is going to be.
I think. might be close. Oh no, it's gonna come out right next to Alp.
Oh, so this will be fun. Oh, we're gonna have to fall in line. Our bar on the back. Both these guys is out. Oof, it's a little tail happy there. Nicholas is gonna be right up on him. Does he make a move here? And I think Perry may have had an incident. Oh, let me try to go to J Prentice.
Pit lane.
Okay.
I think that's okay there. Yeah, but Alp and Nicholas usually fighting for a win and now fighting for P5. That's going to be spicy. For the end of the race, I think you got, what, 6 more laps, 5.5 more laps?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be real spicy. And our bar's there, as always, to pick up the pieces.
Yep. Yeah, Lopez lost out P9 now. So he hasn't quite done this quite right in terms of the strat and everything. Who else got it right though was the likes of Jose and Bean. Bean lost in that fight, but Jose, kind of courtesy of the fighting that the other guys had, then also getting that pit stop right. He has jumped a couple of guys in that, so...
Yeah, it must be said, both of the Danes have absolutely nailed. They've come in at exactly the right time, even when it didn't really look like it, and they have pretty much systematically gotten themselves, well, unfortunately for Reese, they spun, but Jesse, without a whole lot of pace, he has out-strategized his way into a podium position at the moment.
Or Alp on the back of Matty Robbo, closing, not quite close enough to throw a nose in. Nick's not close enough either. But Alp looks like he's got a lot of pace in the dry. Getting a bit squirrely out of turn 3 again, but he's probably going to line this up using all the battery already. He's got 2%, 1% left. He's going to send it.
Oh, this is good for Nicholas. This is good for Nicholas. Alp is going to squeeze Nicholas all the way down to the inside. As Nicholas gets a purple sector 1, he's going to push Alp off the track.
And
no.
Reset's around again.
Oh no.
I think he might have just reset the track quickly as well, but I'm not too sure. Unless that was a hell of a save. But yeah, he's not finished his adventures by the looks of things. He haven't had first bite at Matty Robbo though.
Yeah, I just love this. Matty Robbo has a full tank of ERS, and these two are just draining their entire things to get past him. Yeah,
he's ready to defend.
Yeah, that preparation is key for Matty Robbo. Well done.
I mean, he's even with Nick on penalties, so that is a genuine fight position. Alp has the advantage there, but you know what? If Jesse can gain half a second off Enrique's in for it.
yeah, I know. That's what I was.
Alp and Arbo are going to jump as well. Yeah, so Matty Robbo is still worth fighting this. He's even with half these top guys on penalties, so I would expect to see him fight. A lot of fast laps coming in now, so track's obviously going to be improving until the end of the race, but I think Nicholas will get Matty Robbo now. Yeah, he will.
Yeah, the DRS is too powerful. DRS greater than ERS. And Alp, oh boy, he's going to get by 2. Where did Matty go? Did he crash?
Oh, Alp trying to go down on Nick now, and going around the outside, Nick squeezes him off the track again.
God, there's no room. That is such an abrupt runoff.
Around the outside, Nick's going to run him off again.
The outside walls are so abrupt around here. I think this is just giving him about a foot worth of.
Run off
I think this is just giving him barely enough, maybe a foot worth of real estate to get back on the circuit. Yeah, some real defensive driving at the moment.
Actually, Matty Robbo just picked up another penalty, so he's going to lose a few positions now. I think he might drop to P8, to P7 at this stage, maybe even P8.
I'll tell you what, I don't. Yeah, Teresa has dropped back to 4 seconds. I'm not. We'll treat him like a factor if he can get to 3. But right now, Bean and Fenrique are lighting the track on fire. They are flying at the moment. Fastest lap. There.
Yep.
Yeah, after all that's happened in this race, it's going to come down to 2. This is like Survivor, Fenrique and Bean. The below the border edition.
Yep. Label that as a news headline. Lopez is going to get R-bar drop P7 here. But does have 3 seconds, which probably put him behind him at the end of the race. But Lopez trying to recover a little bit after a really promising first couple of stints.
And I'll tell you what, too, I'm not sure how many penalties Swarner has in 10th, but I know Risa has a ton,
9.
too.
Rise's got 20 seconds and Swarner has 9 seconds.
Yeah, so that's another one to watch as this race goes on a little longer. Good news for Swarner, who looked pretty much dead to rights earlier in this race with the massive gap to or from the points to out of the points.
You can look at the penalties on the detail tab on the control panel.
Oh, can you really?
Far right.
Oh, okay. I was wondering
Yeah,
if
it's beautiful.
I was wondering how you could do that. Okay, that's neat.
Well, I've got the telemetry up as well, but I mean, this is right there, so I guess everyone can see it clearly rather than trying to explain it all, which can be messy. But
Yeah.
that's a nice update. As Fenrique picks up, oh, that's going to
boy.
cost him the race win.
That might be the race for
potentially.
Fenrique.
Yeah,
That was a weird place to get it too. I think that was that the outside. I think of that chicane.
would have been the outside of the penultimate corner, I think. I'll check the warnings count. Bean doesn't have any extra warnings over that 3 seconds, so Bean's got this pretty much covered unless he picks up 3 warnings in 2 laps, which, judging by how he's gone so far, it's probably unlikely.
Yeah, now that you don't have to ask Jeff, and he can see that on his screen, I think we'll probably see him drop back a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a gap behind 4.2 now to dressage, so probably not quite under pressure there. But he doesn't need. He knows now he doesn't need to push it too hard.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to bother with an overtake. Just let Fenrique go and use his DRS to his advantage. He does have more ERS anyways. As Reese picks up, Reese might fall out of the points. That would be a shame after how good he was in qualifying and really the first half of this race.
Yeah, he's going too far out of the points, I think. Just. It's going to be borderline. That would be really disappointing after looking fairly likely for a podium.
Yeah, really. Yeah, like I said, I mean, he started in EU4, and that was very easily. It was very obvious that he should not be in there, so I think they moved him up like tier by tier, and he just kept winning. Now he's in EU1. So, either way, I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of him. Even though Matty Rabo is the official reserve driver of Alfa Romeo Sauber.
Yeah, no, he's done well for himself. 23 seconds of penalties now, which is not good for the resume, but I mean the fact he was in the fight well and truly was great. Speaking of in the fight, Bean is kind of looking at Fenrique, so he might want to win this on track anyway. Looking down the inside, Fenrique's going to give him a bit of a squeeze, and the last thing Bean wants is to put himself on the wall trying to get a position he doesn't need to get.
Oh, and I think Fenrique knows that. Oh my Lord! They made contact. Remember back in Abu Dhabi, Fenrique got a penalty. He got a time penalty for hitting Bean off the track. So there's
now,
a
Bean can't afford to fight.
That's
3.3
right.
seconds behind.
That's right. That is
Yeah.
boy, things are just getting better and better. This race has had multiple climaxes so far.
Indeed. Yeah, plenty happening. Starting right from Polly all the way to the last lap.
Yeah.
He's not going to be close enough to make a dive here, but surely he knows now it's not worth it. 3.2 seconds to the gap.
3.3. Yeah, I think as long as he has that DRS, he should be able to save it. 3.3, still watching it, still stabilized at 3.3. Bean just has to stay back here. Fenrique only almost wipes out. We are on pins and needles, ladies and gentlemen, as we round. Oh no!
Contact. Bean's in the wall.
Oh my God! Let's see where.
It's not going to cost him though. It does. It costs 0.001. That is the perfect ending to.
What?
1,000.
Oh my Lord! That is absolutely remarkable. Dress up. In the comments, the scenes, virtual Vladimir Putin on his feet here in Sochi. How in the world is that even physically possible? Boy, you could just see that one come from a mile away though. But for .001. That is literally the closest I think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen 0.001.
That's remarkable. The closest I've seen is like 0.04. I think, but that's 0.001 is another level. Wow.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the stewards view this. I don't think Bean's going to be super thrilled with the way that he was raced by Fenrique.
Bean tapped the back of Fenrique on the last corner, which I don't know. Technically, it should be send you around, but the game physics will send you around. Now it's ultimately killed him, but I think that defending in the middle sector from Fenrique will definitely come under the eye of the stewards.
By God. Well,
yeah,
oh, look at...
I'm not sure if Bean has much to get that win back. As we got a dorky little dance on the podium there.
Yeah, that was
disgusting. But I mean, when you win by 0.01, surely you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so I mean, really just... I mean, it gave Matty Rabo the driver of the day, and I don't disagree with that. But Drace had really just used strategy to his advantage. I mean, he played chess while everybody else was playing checkers. And he got the win by, what is that, 1,000th? Yeah, 1,000th of a second on penalty. Second one of the year as well for Drace in very unlikely circumstances. Montreal was crazy as well. Just great defending from him. There you have it. I would say a real race of the year nominee. A real contender for that here at the Sochi Autodrome. Okay. Okay, I have to take a deep breath. Yeah, I don't know. Are we gonna invite the podium or?
Who've we got? We've got Dresse, Bean, and Fenrique. Well, I know Bean and Fenrique don't usually join.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dresse joined last time. I'm trying to remember. So maybe we don't.
Yeah, Jace, if you wanna be interviewed, put it in the comments in the next like 15 seconds. Otherwise, we'll just wrap this one up.
15 seconds is probably the delay we have on the stream.
That's yeah, you're probably right.
Do it now.
Yeah. So from now it's 30 seconds. Yes. Oh, dude, I don't know what to say. That was absolutely incredible.
I mean, that was a hell of a race.
Absolutely.
The thrilling finish.
I mean, really, the only breather of the entire race was the safety car. Everything else was just non-stop action. Oh, and hey, Wing It got a point as well. Wing It, congratulations!
Yeah,
so Wing It, he was able to jump reset and get that 10th place. No response from Jace. I think we might just call it an early night. I think we could all use a nap after that one. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I might drive down to the convenience store and buy a pack of cigarettes as well, because that was awesome. But where are we next week? We're at Hungary. Yeah, of course. Can't speak for the EU side.
Vietnam today, guys.
Yeah. We're at Hungary, and these guys are in Vietnam. Can't speak for the EU side. I'm not sure if they have any races to make up. It seems like they...
I think they get the week off.
Yeah, I think they get the week off. Whenever that should probably be the opposite. But hey, we got to make up races when we can. And God forbid we'd close the AM1 season at Vietnam. That would just not be fair to anyone involved. But after that, we'll all be in Suzuka in 2 weeks. After the week off for the EU side as well. So we'll see you then, I guess. Everyone have a beautiful weekend. EU4 tomorrow as well. Make sure you watch that. But for Bod and myself and Teresa, Bean and Fenrique, who are our podium getters, thank you and have a great time this weekend.